years ago, my wife and I and our company decided to acquire Viking relics from private collections in Europe and so on, with the hope of assembling this exhibition which you see here, which is in fact the first Canadian premiere of these objects that has been. So visitors to the museum will see these for the first time. Our exhibition, Vikings the Artifact Exhibition, is going to run here at the Cornwall Museum from September the 15th to December the 15th. And this is an exhibition made of authentic, rare, 1,000-year-old Viking artifacts. These pieces came from different areas the Vikings had previously settled, such as different areas in the UK, locations on the Baltic coastline, even into Russia and Ukraine. And what visitors that come to the museum for this exhibition can expect to see is an accurate portrayal of the Vikings as a well-rounded society. I know you like to think of the Marauders, you know, the Rollos and the Ragnar Lothbrooks of History Channel's Vikings. Those things are here too, in that we have the authentic weapons these people used, and their axes and their swords and lances and so on. But what you'll also see are items connected to their culture, things that showed them as farmers, fishermen, things related to their religious beliefs. The Viking in Saxon means Vikinger, which is the raiders or the pirates. So the Vikings themselves were the Norse people, and the Norse people were many things. They weren't just warriors. They were warriors, all right, but they were fishermen. They were people that navigated. They were the first people to discover the coastline of North America, next to the indigenous people that already lived here. I mean, Vikings came and landed at Lansell Meadows and established a community there on Newfoundland, and they found another ruin of a Viking community on Newfoundland. So we have a race of people that are fearless explorers, navigators. I mean, they were crossing the ocean with nothing more than a sunstone to navigate by. This is a mineral or a stone known as Icelandic spar, and it's also called a sunstone. And when the Vikings first started their long sea voyages to the UK and eventually across to Canada, they would use this to help them navigate. And a Viking explorer on one of those ships would hold it up to the sun, and the light would come through this with a prism-like effect, and it would refract the light, and in conjunction with a board to direct the light beams onto, they could tell what position the sun was in, and this aided them with navigation. What we now know today is longitude, latitude, degrees, time, things like that, they were doing with a stone. We talk about celebrities today and their bling. You know, here you can come and see some real Viking bling. These are things that they, you know, pillaged or traded. Vikings were incredible traders. And one of these pieces of Viking bling is this small silver pendant, and it depicts a Valkyrie, which was a female warrior in Viking mythology that the slain, the dead on the battlefield, were taken by the Valkyries to the halls of Valhalla, where there was feasting and partying with Odin and the other gods. But what the Valkyrie tell us is very important. Women in Viking culture were not seen as mere servants. They weren't subjugated. They were actually equal to men. Women could own property. They could rule whole settlements. So when you come here to see, you know, this Viking exhibition, you can see the jewelry worn by these very important, very statused women, as well as men. If you've ever had any interest in the ancient Vikings, get inside here. You're going to see things they actually owned.